Hello, I'm Dr. Allison Bell. I've worked with children and families in Westchester County, New York for over 30 years. I work with collaborative divorce teams in New York and Massachusetts because we are all committed to eliminating the damage done to adults and children by contested litigated divorce. You are going to see a video that describes 4 different ways to legally separate and divorce. While mediation can be a constructive approach for some couples, if you are willing to work collaboratively with your spouse but need help speaking up, or want your children's needs to be understood and accurately represented, or are uneasy about being overrun or misled by your spouse, please consider collaborative divorce. A divorce nearly always reflects disappointed wishes, hopes, and dreams, but it doesn't have to fragment the future. Our collaborative team can help you reorganize your family by developing enduring agreements that are optimal for all of you.
As your marriage turned back to back with little love left between you, what do you do now? I'm here to help you think through those next steps. If you've decided to divorce, I'm here to tell you about the different ways that you can divorce. You may not realize you have choices, 4 choices in fact. The process you choose could likely become the single most important decision in your divorce process. All processes can result in a divorce, but each process has a different way of leading you to that divorce. Divorce is not just a legal process. It's a transition that deeply affects you and your family emotionally, financially, as well as legally. So each of the 4 options must cover all 3 aspects of the case: the legal, the financial, and the emotional. By the way, you'll see a man and a woman here, but these divorce options apply equally to same-sex couples. Your first option is the do-it-yourself process. Together, as a couple, you identify the issues. Together, you come to the agreement. Together, you file the papers with the court. No professionals need to be involved in this process. If you and your spouse desire, you can choose lawyers just to help you in the drafting of your legal agreement. This do-it-yourself process is the least expensive. Your second option is mediation. In mediation, you both agree to lay down the arms and call a truce to your fighting. You both agree to be transparent and to cooperate with the process. Mediation is a voluntary and a private and a confidential process. Together, you choose a professional trained in divorce mediation. The mediator may or may not be a lawyer, but their job is not to give you legal advice. Think of them as a neutral advisor to guide you through the process. I underline neutral because your mediator is not there to advocate for either of you. The mediator helps you decide which issues need to be resolved and the steps you need to take to get to a resolution. They encourage relevant discussion between you, and they explain options and possible alternatives for you to consider. You craft the solution, and you control the outcome, not the mediator and not the judge. Mediation is cheaper and faster than litigation. The average mediation takes 3 to 6 months perhaps. We do not generally recommend mediation if your relationship involves a significant imbalance of power, domestic or intimate partner violence, or if there's serious deception about financial affairs in your marriage. Your mediator does not give legal advice. They write up a memorandum of agreement, which each of you will then be able to take to a review attorney for conversion into a formal legal agreement. This signed agreement relies upon your keeping your word. If you don't, it's legally enforceable, even though it would be upsetting to go to court to enforce it. Your third option is collaborative divorce. Your divorce settlement is negotiated and crafted in a true collaboration with you and a team of divorce professionals. You each hire an attorney trained in the collaborative process. A mental health professional fills a neutral role in your case to work on the parenting plan if you have kids and to guide the emotional part of the process. A financial expert, also in a neutral role, gives the team a report on marital finances, and they can assist with financial planning and financial projections for your life after the divorce. Each of you receives legal advice from your own attorney, but what's unique about the collaboration process is that you give your attorneys permission to consider not only your personal interests in the case, but the interests of your entire family in the negotiation process. The needs and interests of every person in your family are fully considered in collaboration. Like mediation, collaborative practice provides a safe container in which you can be free to discuss the full range of sensitive issues. Like mediation, you're in charge of the timing of the process and what issues are important to you and your family. Like mediation, none of the professionals will go to court. Your attorneys specifically disqualify themselves. If you decide you must go to court, your attorneys will hand over all your documents to the litigating attorney who will end up representing you in court. There could be 4 or more professionals on your collaborative team. This process is more expensive than mediation, but usually still much cheaper than litigation. Your fourth option is litigation. This is a traditional attorney-controlled process in the adversarial arena of court. Each of you will be represented by a litigating attorney. Couples often choose litigation when one or both of the spouses believe that their partner will not or cannot be fair. They cannot cooperate with one another, or if one partner procrastinates and resists finishing the process. Litigating couples will need their weapons of war. They want a tough attorney who will use the attorney's available legal weapons of war. Most attorneys you'll meet practice in this adversarial divorce process. The agreement you'll reach in litigation will typically be driven by what does the law say or what does the judge do. It's driven by statutes and case law. The majority of litigated cases are in fact actually settled by attorneys out of court. But if you can't settle with your attorney's help, then you go to court. A judge will decide the fate of your children and your property. Unlike the first 3 processes, the going to court process is not designed to explore your deepest concerns about your family and future. Litigation is the most expensive divorce process, partly because you pay your attorneys to comply with a court schedule and court oversight that is not very efficient. And litigation takes the longest time, usually because everybody waits for the court calendar, which is not necessarily your preferred timetable. Your goal is to find the divorce process that best fits your needs. And the goal of the divorce process is to reach a resolution of child-related and financial issues that is good for you and your entire family. We're sure you'll have questions. Educate yourself. Go to our website or come speak to any of those that practice in the collaborative divorce group of the Hudson Valley. Stay tuned for further videos on specific topics relevant to divorce options. We wish you well.
I hope this has been informative. Please feel free to contact me with your questions at 914-232-1211 or 914-497-5113. I will be happy to speak with you further.